can and must do better, particularly to address this digital divide. Many households in our economically distressed counties are still without internet connectivity. You've heard the stories. Many people still are using the dial-up that we heard from SIG. And this problem is particularly widespread in our Tier 1 and 2 counties. 95% of those without broadband live in rural North Carolina. And children in those communities have less access to digital learning, and they have less access to the tools and the skills that some of their peers have. Small businesses, including farms and manufacturing operations in those communities, may not be able to use the latest technology in their work and face barriers in marketing their products across the country and across the globe. And we've got too many talented North Carolinians from rural communities who can't get the kind of experience or connection to the world that they want and that they need. Local leaders have told me time and again about the challenges they are facing to make their communities economically viable and desirable places to live. I can sell rural North Carolina because of the opportunities that are there, because of the kind of people there that are there, the lower cost of living, the easier going life, but we've got to make sure that these counties are connected. And many local leaders, particularly from rural areas, tell me when you're talking about infrastructure, broadband is their #1 issue. Now, we've seen this work before, and we've seen what it can do. I've highlighted before Vic Family Farms in Wilson, grew sweet potatoes, was struggling, got broadband connectivity, opened their sweet potatoes to global markets. Now they export 60% of their sweet potatoes, and now they are providing for more space for their business and are succeeding. So we know that this can work. I'm about to roll out my proposed budget for the North Carolina General Assembly. I see Representative Joe John sitting there and maybe some other legislators in the room. But this budget is going to include $20 million for broadband connectivity. And I want to encourage you, I do have a website for you to look at, and many of you already know about it, but ncbroadband.com has for communities a community broadband playbook that lays out what you need to do and making yourself a plan and talking about ways to finance that plan for your community. And the plan for this $20 million is to create a grant program where we can use this playbook, where we can begin the process of leveraging other funds from other places and ideas, and making sure that we work together to make sure that North Carolina is connected. Now, I deal with CEOs all over the globe in trying to get them to come to North Carolina and to expand here. The #1 thing they tell me when they're looking for a place to expand or to come is, do you have the people who can perform the jobs that I create? Skilled workforce is the #1 issue. So I've come forth with NC Job Ready. It's under the Department of Commerce and the NC Works Commission. And we want to do 3 things to get our skilled workforce ready for the jobs of today and tomorrow. And in fact, we are in a massive race against innovation. I told kids in high school the other day that a ton of jobs, some say 85% of the jobs in 2030 haven't even been invented yet. And they need to make sure that they've got access to the skills. So the first thing we've got to do is to get people access to the education and the training that they need. We have to make North Carolina a top 10 educated state by 2025. We can do that. I think we're already there with our community colleges and our universities. But we have to concentrate on making sure that early childhood, pre-K, K through 12 has the proper funding, that we have a quality teacher in every classroom and a quality principal in every school, and to make sure that we invest in education to get those skills and training to our people. And also working in middle school with parents and kids to tell them that you don't necessarily need a four-year college education, that there are amazing opportunities for you out there with certifications and other kinds of education where you can make a really good paying job, get a good paying job, and maybe even go to school a little more after if you want to. But making sure that we get the education and the opportunities to people to get these good paying jobs. The second thing we're emphasizing is employer participation. We need to know from the employers what they need. And we are encouraging internships and apprenticeships and work-based learning, which we're finding to be very positive for these businesses and the people who are working in that arena. All of these efforts require connectivity, because the third effort of NC Job Ready is local innovation. Every community is different, and they need different kinds of workforce. Some communities may be working on aerospace. Some communities in the Hickory area are working on advanced manufacturing for furniture. There are so many good efforts that are going on locally, and we want to accentuate that and learn from that. And NC Job Ready is going to let companies all over our state, the country, and the world knows that we're going to have the talented, skilled workforce to provide those good paying jobs. Second effort I want to talk to you about is Hometown Strong. Many of you have heard about it. I grew up in rural North Carolina. I know the challenges that local governments have of breaking down silos, of knowing what all help is available to rural communities from the state, from nonprofits, from the feds. Hometown Strong is not a new department. It is not a new bureaucracy. It is an action team within the governor's office that is going to partner with local governments to help them do what they need to do to make sure that their community is successful, to help bring parties together. One of the things that I have found about being governor of North Carolina is that your convening power is significant, and you can bring people together in a room to get a job done. And we're going to need focus as we try to rebuild our rural communities. And Hometown Strong can help provide that focus. We're going to be rolling out pilot counties where we're going to start this. I've already talked about Pryor Gibson and Mary Penny Thompson. They're going to be heading this up. I believe that there are a lot of successes that can be had by using this action team to bring parties together. And clearly, broadband internet access is one of those areas where rural counties are crying out for help. We want to provide the resources. We want to provide the convening ability. We want to try to cut through the red tape. We want to try to break down silos. We want to bring our business community in and our providers. And we want to leverage as much as we can to get North Carolina connected. I think we do love gigabits. And I believe that this conference today, I've looked at your agenda, and I'm looking forward to getting a report back, because this provides the opportunity for us to get the players together, to make things happen. This has to be a bipartisan effort, and I believe that there is a desire across the board to get this done. But when you're talking about priorities, I always tell people, show me your budget. And I do believe that making sure that we invest and making sure that North Carolina remains ahead of the curve in connectivity is critical. I'm grateful for your hard work. I'm honored and privileged every single day to serve as the governor of the greatest state in the country. And I promise you that I will work hard every day to make sure that this is a North Carolina that works for everyone. Thank you, and have a great conference today. I appreciate it.